I want to welcome everyone to the Crypto Kingdom and also Bitcoin Spike. This is London, guys. We do have Crypto Kingdom back. That's very nice. We got let back into that room. So we want to go over the details on Bitcoin tonight. We're really excited about the price action. We have broken down out of a descending wedge, and I feel like this is very important to come to you live. You guys understand the price action. It's been phenomenal. Guys, we called the bottom around here. Let's just talk about just around under $30,000. I brought that information to the VIPs in the back. That's our top level of membership. You guys know we experienced about a 45% gain within about a 10-day time frame. So it was very exciting, going from about 30,000 up to, let's see, the all-time high. Let's go to the candles and let's just take a quick look at that, guys. It was really phenomenal. Almost 43,000. USD. So that's very nice. In terms of the current price action, I want you guys to be prepared. I've waited a bit because I wanted to see exactly what was going on with the price action. We traded most of the day, guys. The VIPs in the back, I was definitely trading a lot, and it was a great morning. I want to let you guys know the traders had a great morning trading. We really had a good time. In terms of the, I guess, what would we say right now? The price action right now has changed a bit. I think that goes without saying. We have entered into a retracement, and that's not something to be afraid of. What do we got? Hey, Angel is in the house first to push the button to chime in. Nice to see you guys. Go ahead and hit the like button if you'd like to see some overall trend analytics. Okay, I'm going to go through some trend analytics today, and I'd like to know if anyone would like to see that on Bitcoin. Hit that up, the like button, and I'll go through the overall macro trend analytics and essentially what this line is that stopped us. I'm prepared to discuss that if you guys would like to hear that. If not, we can go through more of the micro, kind of the micro pricing, etc. So this descending wedge, we were hoping that this would hold, okay? We were hoping that this would hold because this is a bullish pattern, okay? This is Bitcoin. Current price is right now at $38,233.68. So as we looked at this, it wasn't ideal. I'll tell you, it wasn't ideal. However, it still held promise because, as you guys know, a descending wedge is still a continuation pattern, and that would mean it would continue to the upside. So as we are kind of nestled up against this, I see some of you guys want to see this macro trend analytics. Let's go ahead and draw back a bit. Let's go to the all-time high, guys. The all-time high at 64,863.10. You guys remember this very well. I know you remember that about Bitcoin. It was on April 14th, guys, and around April 14th, 64,863.10. That's 10 cents. So as we dropped down, just keep your eye on the trend line. We're on the hourly because it's the most specific, the most accurate. You'll see that we just came into contact with that trend line, okay? So that's what we need to currently power through. And I'm gonna keep that open right now. We need to power through because we're dealing with Bitcoin. It is volatile. Everyone knows the volatility of Bitcoin. It's one of the biggest gripes about Bitcoin. And I'll tell you, from a trading standpoint, we have traded all day long, guys. I booked 10 trades, I'd say before 2 or 3 o'clock today, and it was a phenomenal trading trading day. We had a very good time trading. And in terms of that, I'm going to let you know the volatility is a big criticism against Bitcoin. Okay, but it's also one of the advantages when we are heading down, guys. And let's say we've broken out of something which should be bullish, and we've broken to the downside. You guys can clearly see the price just collapsing through this. I'll tell you, the volatility is one thing that can surprise traders on Bitcoin. So we are always prepared for a fake out. So in terms of this bullish pattern, we are prepared. I'm prepared right now, guys, to pull a trigger. If this wants to reverse, we do have Bitcoin Spike. I just want to let you guys know we have Crypto Kingdom is back 100%, guys. We're still there. We're still the same old Crypto Kingdom. And in terms of that, and I'd say we'll go back to the Bitcoin Spike in a bit. You guys make sure and follow us on Bitcoin Spike, though. Our goal is to catch these spikes, okay? Our goal is to catch them. That's where the profit is at. It's not necessarily in going down. It's in catching these spikes to the upside. And that was the reason, and it was a really big deal that we were able to that we were able to catch this small little infinitesimal, guys, this baby, you guys understand it, right around under the 30,000. That we were able to catch this was a big deal. This is how much we focus on the market. This is how detailed I want to be and the type of information I want to bring all of you, and particularly, guys, the VIP members, you guys that are here right now, guys, you're the reason I'm streaming right now, okay? You subscribers, you VIP members, etc. The beginning of an ascending triangle, guys, this was a period that lasted 2 hours. Within 2 hours, we had, I'd say within an hour, really, to identify this higher low at that low target price, guys, that it showed the buyers were in control. And guys, the price action since then, it's been phenomenal. So looking at this pour down, I just let you know, in terms of like ability to pull the trigger like immediately, like hit the button. That's the idea. My friend from JP Morgan, he always tells me, he worked in New York as a trader. And I'm not giving you financial advice, guys. You know that. You can seek the advice of a broker. But what I'll tell you is, if they can handle crypto, what I'll tell you is, he always told me, he's like, London, you got to be able to hit that button. And I always thought, well, he means to buy, right? Sometimes it is to sell. I'll let you guys know that. Well, we came up into contact with an area on the hourly that looked like we were up against a trend line. And there are probably 4 or 5 different time frames where it's a little bit confusing, guys. It will stretch on different time frames. One of the indicators I want to cover tonight is the RSI, guys, because on the hourly RSI, we are almost in oversold territory, guys. And that is a bullish indicator right now. We have dipped down below that. We got some price action today. Once we did dip below that, we got down to about 23 on the hourly. Now, that is not a guaranteed. I say that's not guaranteed. We want to check the RSI on different time frames, right? You guys know that. The hourly is not a done deal. We're not guaranteed to go up on the hourly. What I think is important is the 4 hourly, guys. The 4-hour RSI right now looks interesting. I'm going to tell you it looks interesting. Why? I think this is a huge point to cover right now. Where did we start at the 4-hour? Please pay attention. We started right at about 30, okay? We started right at about 30 on the RSI on the 4-hour, okay? On the 4-hour chart, guys, the RSI, the Relative Strength Index was right at that line of 30. I want you guys to look at where it is right now. Now, this is what started this most recent Bitcoin spike, right? Yeah, we're right in here. Look at where we are now, guys. We are not far from it, guys. We're at 35. We're at 35 on the 4-hour chart. So that is, hey, Mark, nice to see you, brother. Nice to have you here. As we look at this, and I wanted just to bring this to you guys because I know some of you guys are looking at your holdings, you're deciding what to do. I wanted to wait to see if we could really determine, is this a fake out? This is a bullish pattern. Excuse me, I have those Fibonacci's up for you guys. This is a bullish pattern by design, okay? The falling wedge. I have not given up the notion that this can surprise and completely wipe the market out, because Bitcoin is just beautiful at doing that. You guys know that. Like, people will get on the wrong side of it. It will surprise them. We've become very used to that occurring, okay? So as we have the nomenclature of, we have that namesake of Bitcoin Spike, that's our new Twitter. Guys, just understand, we catch them, right? And how do we catch them? Well, we spend the time like right now and we watch this. I want to make sure that my VIPs and all you guys that we know if this sucker turns around and it's ready to fly, we're going to be right there and we're going to be hitting that button. The train's not going to leave the station without us. That's essentially the MO, if you would, here. Now, what I would probably do at this point, I would want to dig in a little bit deeper. You guys understand the falling wedge is a bullish pattern, guys. It's just a bullish pattern. That's something that's going to want to break to the upside. So to me, it's already raising a little bit of suspicion. I'm looking at it like, okay, I understand we're in a technical retracement, but the problem is, guys, we have not entered into a real technical retracement. I'll tell you that as I looked at the price action today. No, this is not really a technical retracement. As you guys understand, the different Fibonacci levels, etc. No, I'm going to tell you guys, if this were a real technical, really well-formed formed, you guys, just listen to this. If this were a really well formed, and we've done as much on Fibonacci's as any channel, I promise, guys, live. We've done them on a ton of different coins, guys. But as we look at this, guys, the 23.6, well, there's not really a great hit there, is it? No, not really. What about the 38.2? Is there a great hit there? Well, no, not really. What that's indicating to me, guys, is that we are not operating on the Fibonacci's right now, okay? We are not, I'm not seeing the price action reflect the fact that we have gone into a retracement cycle here. More than that, I think, guys, day traders, the guys who are trading this are eating this up. We are having a blast, and you guys know that. We are trading very heavily. Shout out to Steve as well in the chat. I see you rolling in. Steve likes to trade as well. I know Angel has been getting some very, very heavy trades in the books, and I'm excited about that, Angel. I'm very excited that we can be bringing you some information that is profitable to you. Not financial advice, but man, if we got to do that. I mean, this is crypto. We got to figure out ways to enhance your profits. Miles is that's nice to see, Miles. We love that, brother. We're really excited about that. We thank you so much for renewing your membership. And guys, we have VIP perks like you guys wouldn't believe. I think the guys who have joined are like, well, we weren't really expecting, these possibilities, and you guys just understand. You'll see in the top left, 5,500 free USDT. I have some details about that for you guys. When you have questions, definitely check with me before you go after that 5,500, because there are some tricks to it, and it's nothing too complicated. I'll let you guys know it's really not that complicated. So I'm excited about you guys having that 5,500 to be able to trade. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We're going to get into this. We're going to be, you guys can slam into Bitcoin and have some fun. So Miles has been, I think, with us for a month or two. Yeah, very, very nice to have you with us, and we're just excited about that. And we got some more energy coming in the form of Angel. Very nice. And I'm just glad to see the energy pouring into, I'm going to say, the Bitcoin room right now, because, guys, I think we are the live station that's covering this. The only ones who have kind of pointed out, other people are saying, well, maybe we're in a retracement. Well, guys, the retracement, and we'll shout that out. We really appreciate that, Angel. We definitely appreciate that, just rocking it out. And guys, as we're talking about, I think Angel appreciates the notion here that we're defining the fact that we're not in a technical retracement, right? We are not in a technical retracement. You guys understand that, okay? Yes, the price is technically, guys, it's in kind of a I'm going to say it's in a pattern formation mode, okay? It is in a mode wherein we're seeing patterns generated, but we're not in a technical Fibonacci structured retracement. You guys understand that? A technical Fibonacci retracement would include pricing targets being struck and showing typically a degree of price action to the upside. Orders would be deployed at these different levels, and guys, that's not being indicated right now. That's just not indicated. So in terms of the patterning that we are seeing, it is very unique. I'm going to say just to Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a very strange, I'd say a very unique, let's talk about this, a very unique patterning structure, guys. As we look at this, for instance, you will notice a continual, as we look at the price action, you'll notice like continual consolidations. These zones in here, guys, they will throw people for a loop. They will bore people. I'll tell you, they'll put them to sleep for a little bit, but they'll also allow you some time. But it will create a circumstance where it seems ill-defined in terms of the future direction of Bitcoin. It occurs time and time again. It occurs after almost every move. You guys know that. Almost every move that Bitcoin wants to make, you will see some real frustrated, just kind of generalized consolidation that no one is real happy with because it seems kind of ill-defined, guys. And it just has a way of doing this. Just look at some of the previous price action. Do you see this? This is something that Bitcoin is just, it is the market. It is the way that Bitcoin likes to trade. It's still patterned, okay? So when we get into something now, I'm going to say, and I'd say it's not easy to pattern these. We pick up on these patterns on different time frames, i.e. maybe an ascending triangle that would be noted on a different time frame. Here, I'm sure there's a different time frame, for instance, wherein we had an ascending triangle here. Those are just those are big buy signals for us, guys. We like to just, we like to live in the middle of these and ride this up. So that is how we capitalize on the spikes, guys. We talk about like Bitcoin spike. That is how we capitalize. Same notion went true here, guys. The same notion went true. But what we had to do, we had to catch it on step 1, 2, and 3. We're not talking about a complete pattern formation that we can line up with a book. No, you have to be quick with Bitcoin. You guys know that. We had to catch it with the step 1, 2, and 3, showing buyer support here in and below 30, and bam, waiting for a confirmation on the different time frames. You'll see that hitch right there, the little hitch. Yeah, that hitch was the confirmation up and out, and that's the level of detail that's required to trade Bitcoin. It is not a standard, guys. It's not a security. It's, in terms of a financial interest or a security interest, it is not. As we look at the patterns and the technicals, it still conforms very nicely to those technicals. I want you guys to know that. So there is a level of conformance with the technicals, and it's something that we enjoy trading. I'm just going to let you guys know. So again, we are not showing like a real expressed strength at any Fibonacci level thus far. We're just not. So that I think is a good sign right now. And in terms of that, we have retraced without a doubt, and we did hit I'd say a technical sell level, a level at which sales were executed. In the back, I did let people know I'm going full on fib. Now, full on fib for me means, okay, my cash is back now, and my position is heavier, maybe with some pepper. Guys, some pepper is still remaining. Work to surprise me. I don't want to lose out. We typically we talk about having some pepper. Just a little bit of light, kind of peppering it at the tops, guys, and that will vary from person to person in terms of your overall desired exposure, just generally. But as we look at at this quote unquote, I just want to say a pattern formation. That's what I want to stick with right now. Is it a quote unquote retracement? I'm going to tell you, it looks like it's breaking down from the pattern formation, but this is when I pay attention the most. Right now is when I'm paying attention the most. We're currently on the hourly, okay? This is on the hourly chart. Now, we are breaking down from, I'd say, we're breaking down from one pattern, other pattern, I'm going to say, that is being upheld, and I'd say, guys, this is very interesting. If you look at kind of a cross pattern implication here, we would draw this out, okay, in and above the previous formation here, and we would want to see this. We would expect to see this line here hold. We would expect to see that hold. Traders would trade that line. I want to let you guys know. So as you're looking at, if there's no Fibonacci, where are the EMAs? Maybe no. I'm going to talk about that cross indicated trend line that comes down through this area. Given the previous structuring here, and thus that does serve a nice purpose in addition to this breakout pattern which was formulated here, and that would have been a nice breakout pattern, guys, that we would have just defined very easily, just like this, guys. We would have defined it something like this, and we would have waited for a breakout, probably a pattern formation in here as well, just to let you guys know how we trade. And we trade a lot, guys. We really enjoy trading. If you guys are learning how to trade, we welcome you guys. We're deep in it, guys. I'm going to let you know, but we have a blast, and not everyone is a full-on day trader, just, smoking guns. It's, some are, some definitely are, but other guys are learning. We have a great group that is putting together like the right kind of instructional team. I'm going to say kind of an instructional team. I don't know what Andrew wants to call himself. He's one of our lead, contributors, but he's the lead support analyst. And guys, in the back, he's working with people. He's literally talking with people. He's helping them with their charts, everything like that. So if you guys don't know, exactly, what is going on with your holdings or what's going on with crypto right now, we have the right team in the back. And in the back, I'm talking about that VIP level of membership that I think you guys are already members. So I'm excited to bring you this kind of late night special. It's just, I wanted to come live because I think this is very, very important in terms of the pricing of Bitcoin, because it's just, I think it's atypical as we would look at any other type of a crypto or any other type of an asset. But for Bitcoin, it's very regular. So I wanted to be here so that we could discuss this pattern formation. Again, this cross indicated, this kind of transference, I want to say a transferal trend line that crosses over. We would expect that level right here to hold. If this breaks, it's going to be a little bit of an indicator to me. I'm going to tell you that because we have broken. I'm looking for a surprise. I'll tell you that. I'm looking for some sort of a surprise move here, but I'll tell you, this wedge formation here was, I'm going to say, is a bullish formation. Now, I've seen Bitcoin take a bullish formation, drop out, and surprise everybody. That happened at least one time today for 2% and a strong move to the upside. We did catch it. I let people know. I was in the back. I was trading so much at some point. I think I had booked like 10 positive trades, and I just told people, I was like, look, you guys go ahead and trade. I want you guys to trade and have fun. We had the VIP in the back, and I was just like, you guys trade. You guys have fun. I'm going to relax for a minute. And of course, I kept trading. I didn't mean to, but then I finally just quit. I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna stop. And we were just having a blast, guys. We were booking trades right and left, and you guys can do that. I want to let you guys know, if you have an interest in crypto, okay, if you have a drive to do this, I have zero doubt in my mind that you can become a trader, that you can understand what it is in terms of overall conformance, in terms of like the lines don't look really normal to me. Guys, you can get to the point where this makes complete sense to you. And I just know we have the right team to express that. And if you're already on the team, if you're struggling, I want to encourage you guys, because there's a reason you're attracted to the market. Okay, there's a reason, and I really feel that you're going to fulfill whatever that kind of vision that you have in terms of your success in the market. Let me say, I believe that you can, if you really grip on into it and you decide that that's what you want. And that's why we're here. That's kind of our purpose in being here. And I've seen it happen to too many people that we've worked with, or too many people that we've had members, in terms of our VIPs, people I've instructed personally. I've seen them be able to take hold of the market. This is not a promo. If you guys never join, or if you think it's just a useless shout out, I just want to let you know it's the truth. I know you can do this, period. I know you can, because I've seen too many people learn. It's just the truth. I've seen too many people learn how to trade to think that you can't trade and have a great impact. So, as we look at Brazil in the house, hey, nice to see you, Rio or Minas Gerais. Nice to see you. We have a few members from all over the world, guys. We have members from all over the world. So I've brought up this cross trend line here, and instead of the target right now specifically per se, I'm trying to identify, and I'll go over one more time. I think it's very important. I'm trying to identify for people the nature of this action right now, and the more vertical that we make it, the more severe it does look, okay? The more severe it does look. I'm going to go ahead and say that as a matter of fact. In terms of the actual, what I'm going to say, in terms of the pricing targets, we do cover those in the back without a doubt, guys. We do cover those in the back, and I'll go over. We do have Fibonacci levels, but again, guys, people who trade this right now, we're not looking at Fibonacci's. It's not hitting on the Fibonacci's. It's just not. We have had a stutter step after stutter step, very choppy waters that have formulated, guys, this descending wedge, this falling wedge. The falling wedge is a bullish pattern, okay? It is designed to break to the upside. That's just a fact, guys. It's designed to break to the upside. So, the entirety of this move, as you guys recall, the entirety of this move that we are discussing right now came from a descending wedge. So just so we remember exactly what we got into and what got us in this beautiful position, guys. If and I've got it drawn out here on the macro, a larger one. But as we look at this, guys, this descending wedge here, you remember being kind of sloughed into this area. It was very uncomfortable. We wondered what is going on. We were forming the top side of that wedge. So when you look at, well, where are we right now? We are in a micro of exactly what got us into this position in terms of positive price action. You guys know that. That is the truth. I think technically, guys, I think you guys can confirm that. I can definitely defend that in terms of the argument. It's just the truth. As we look at this falling wedge formation here, we are in a micro of what got us there. Now, the difference here is we've broken down. Again, I am cautious of the fact that Bitcoin likes to surprise. As soon as you like to let it go, I'll let you guys know. As soon as it reaches a threshold, the average person, it's almost like an attention span. The average person has an attention span of maybe 20 minutes, right? Well, as soon as it's almost emotionally geared, as soon as you want to let go Bitcoin, it will surprise you. We see it time and time again, and that's why we pay so much attention to it, is because if you're not on top of it, if you're not solidly engaged in, I'd say, what would you say, in almost diagnosing, and going through the technicals to the T. I mean, to the fine tooth and down to the micro. We get the magnifying glass out, guys. as that continues to occur, we stay on top of it enough to know whether or not, for instance, we're on the Fibonacci's. Are we on the Fibonacci's? Right now, no, guys, we're not. So in terms of a typical quote-unquote retracement, everyone's saying, well, we're retracing. Well, you're expressing some price action to the downside. Absolutely. That is occurring within what? Within a bullish pattern. Okay, so it is within a bullish pattern still. We are up against, and we need to conquer this line right here, which could get us up and above. If we can get back up and above, and this is what's going to be interesting because we have been fighting this price, okay, for a while. If we can get up above, I'm going to say 40 to 41,000, guys, we may be in a completely different market, okay? This trend line here, this expressed resistance, guys, if we can get up above 40 again, and I'll say like within tomorrow, we are looking at a different ball game, okay? So I'm very interested just because, guys, breaking this trend line would be a huge deal for Bitcoin. This is the residual final trend line that needs to be broken to open up the floodgates, guys, to kind of clear the air, absolutely, to allow us some room on the upside. This is the last vestige, the last remaining. And we appreciate that Angel shouting out. I know he likes to hear that. He's got holdings. He's definitely got holdings. So as we look at this, guys, as we do look at this, what I'm going to tell you is this is the last trend line, okay, the last trend line, okay, that we need to really conquer. And guys, we have been up and above. What's interesting as we push sideways on this, okay, if we can just even really push sideways and continue the same, I'd say this same zone, this same range within 38 to like 41, guys, as we continue to push sideways, if we can push sideways, we're going to break that trend line at some point, okay? It is, it's not just a vertical trend line, it is diagonally expressed, and it's something, guys, that is going to be, that's going to be really a strong indicator. If we can break through this even laterally, you understand, if we can even laterally push through this, okay, instead of necessarily going up through it, if we can laterally push through it, guys, it's going to be a game changer. So I want to let you guys know that in terms of the entirety of of the argument here, in terms of kind of what we're looking at. So, yeah, the descending wedge is a big deal. I am holding on, looking at it right now, wondering when would be a time to pull the trigger, because not only are we in a bullish pattern here, right, we're in a bullish pattern, but we are also, guys, and yes, we have come down, I'd say possibly to where there are some orders. What I would say is there may be some orders at this line, which is this cross-indicated trend line upon which we are finding, I'd say, what would you guys say? Just a level of support, right? I think that's the clearest way to say it, is this level of support. Shout out to Ryan from Wyoming. I just did not see you there. Now I see you. What is up, Ryan? Nice to see you in the chats. Nice to see you, brother. We hope the fishing's good up there in Wyoming. I know it must be beautiful weather up there. So this zone right here will dictate a lot, okay? This breakdown with this line of support as to whether or not we're going to, guys, if we're going to capitulate beyond that, it's going to be something that I'm going to start really looking at powering up at these lower levels. I'll still probably be trading patterns with Bitcoin, because right now that's what it's in. We've been trying, we tried for a while today to hit Fibonacci's, et cetera. It just hasn't really wanted to. 90% of the trades we did today were all, I'd say were all, what would you guys say? They were all pattern trades. You guys know that. So we will continue to likely trade that way. If you guys don't understand what pattern trades are, if you guys don't understand, like, trend lines, et cetera, entry and exit, et cetera, then we would be happy to communicate with you about that. This, this wedge formation is by nature bullish. I'm going to say with the catch here that we have fallen out, but I'm going to say also there's another kind of implied catch with this support line here. That is going to be something that's going to be that's going to be something that's going to reinforce this wedge formation. We can go to the candlesticks and take a little bit of a look at it. It doesn't get much messier. If we go ahead and take these Fibonacci's away, we'll get a clearer image for you guys to really assess. But then you very clearly see this wedge formation, right? You see that we have just dropped just out of it, and now we see the candlesticks. It's nice because we do see now that we have contacted that level. We're not there on the line chart, guys. We may be on a smaller time frame, but we're not there on the line chart. So whether or not it's happened since we've started or not, it looks like during this during this specific hour, it has hit down into that. We may have been floating around. So that's an important move, that it has expressed some degree of support at that line, this lateral line of support. Now, guys, the previous resistance, this trend line is going to express itself as a support line for us. So I'm looking for this zone very strongly. I'm wanting this to complete itself to the upside. Now, I'll be watching when this does occur. I'll be watching for something that doesn't want to express itself fully. If it's a small breakout, given the fact it is already broken down, I'll be looking for something which does, which underperforms if it does choose to underperform. But it is a bullish pattern, so right now I am on standby, and I'm going to catch this. Just so you guys know, me personally, I am going to catch this. When this goes, I'm going to get it. So I don't know what you guys are thinking, but yeah, angel thinking personally, it still looks bullish. It is, it's still within the conformance of within what we have achieved. It is still a beautiful, beautiful pattern. It is still, and yes, but you can do you see the spiral? I mean, it literally, it's just, you can start to see the nature of it and you can tell it has poured down a bit from it. But when you see this little etching in here, it just does tell you, it tells you that the technical trend line, and guys, we've identified a lot of coins today where that technical trend line has been defeated. A lot of the altcoins, etc., have broken down and then continued to the upside. We traded one, very heavily. A lot of people traded it heavily. So that has happened prior heretofore, and I'll just let you guys know that. The Fibonacci levels, so that you guys know, those are set up for targeting. If you guys would like to use those, I think the people that went to sleep already, they're probably stacked up with Fibonacci orders. Those are the VIPs. That's what they look at. That's what they do. And what would we say other than we focus on the technicals, the fundamentals of technical analysis. You guys know that. That's what we're geared towards doing. Right now, in terms of the Fibonacci's, one of these levels may pick up. It might make sense, like it made sense earlier on today. Within the micro levels, we were having success with the Fibonacci's. You guys know that. Within the smaller time frames, as we were battling in here between around the 39,000 to the 40,000, a lot of trades happened during then, and we battled that channel quite a bit and booked some positive trades. I know I did. I hope you guys did too. That was a fun area. As you look at the candles, it really tells the story of a nice little channel formation there. We really enjoyed trading that channel. This breakdown here, we're really going to want to see what it does, and like I said, I'm just going to catch it. So we hope you guys catch it too. If you guys are going to catch it, if you're going to make some good money on it, some good profit, that's what we're geared to do. I want to bring you accurate information in a timely manner. A timely manner doesn't always mean in prime time. If you guys are just showing up, if you hit the like button, I can show you the overall trend dynamics. If you're interested in that, let me know how many people are just showing up. I know it's early in the morning, but we wanted to cover this because it's just crucial information for Bitcoin. So we have broken down from this. Just to repeat, this is a falling wedge. You guys understand that. It's a falling wedge, and I want you guys to appreciate that. I want you guys to understand that in terms of the overall, I'd say, what would you say, the indications of this. In terms of the overall indications of this, I want you guys to clearly know that this is intended to be a bullish pattern. That is it, guys. Bitcoin it is in a technical I want to say retracement, but retracement implies that we are, guys, if you know about your technicals, and you probably do, that is implying that we're operating on the Fibonacci retracements potentially, correct? Yes. Now, the problem is we are not operating on the Fibonacci retracements. That is not occurring right now. So as we look at this 23.6 to the 38.2, the 50% or the golden pocket, guys, we are not hitting We are not doing that, guys. Instead, we have dropped into a kind of a perfect routine here. We're on the hourly chart into a perfect routine where we are achieving pattern formations. So we have been, it may be because we are trading so heavily. I will tell you guys that we have been trading the heck out of this thing. I mean, yes, we've been on Fibonacci's, but guys, as soon as it wants to rest at a level, any level, we are into the micro. We are trading this so heavily, guys. If you knew, how I don't know if we did like 70 trades, just so you guys know, 70 trades today. That was just what I had data on. 70 trades. Okay, that was the group that's connected and linked to me. 70 trades. Okay, so that's a big deal. Okay, so I get that the data that I get is very important to me. If you guys aren't linked up with me, it's phenomenally important that we're able to view that and be able to review that and be able to say, yes, we had 70 trades today. So I like that a lot, guys. That shows me our activity in the marketplace, and I hope you guys are successful with your trades. That's why we handle these technicals. That's why we cover these technicals so much, is so that you guys can be successful. That's our ultimate goal here, is for you guys to book positive trades and generate profit, guys. That's what we want. That's the reason for our being here. Okay, so don't ever doubt that. That's what our ultimate goal is, and that won't change, guys. We want you to learn about the market and have fun too. There's no reason we can't do that. So the high here was along a trend line. You guys understand that? What was the trend line, guys? The trend line expressed on the hourly goes all the way back. I'm kind of in no man's land here. I have to drag quite a way to get back to the 64,863.10, right? That's $64,863.10. Look at that trend line. Do you see the trend? Let me just go one more step here. There we go. You guys see that trend line pick up perfectly? I don't want to do that again to just run rampant across the screen like that, but I do want you guys to see that trend line on the hourly, guys. On the hourly, that trend line from the 64,863.10 to that next intermediary low, that trend line is in play. Now, on the different time frames, the more exacting that you get, that trend line may change. That upper level trend line may change a little bit. It may push. It may even draw back. But I think the hourly right now, where I have this, is a good representation, a solid representation of what we're looking at in terms of the ability for us to get up and over this. And, guys, we experienced that on a few different coins today, did we not? Absolutely. Much to our delight, early this morning, we had a few that decided to break on through. I don't know that that's a precursor, guys. I don't know that I'm going to follow, let's say, a random coin that decided to do that. But as we experienced that today. So it's kind of laid the groundwork, for me to look at this and say, I don't want to be just completely surprised were this to follow suit. I just don't want to be surprised. So having seen that on some different, and guys, it was on some different coins that had also broken their trend line that then decided to rock it up. So, Bitcoin is the one, guys, it's the one that we are focused on. It's what we enjoy trading most. We like the price action, particularly in terms of just the challenge it represents, the liquidity in the market, its ability to manage bigger orders, guys, because a lot of these other coins, we can't trade any I'd say, any larger position. It just becomes difficult to trade. So let's look at why don't we look at this formation here, the double bottom. Let's review this real quickly, guys. On the hourly, we have a very well expressed double bottom. It's not exactly precise. I would like to see this exactly, guys, to the T. You'll see we have a bit of variance there, about $300 or so, about I'd say not quite, about $200 and what is that? $230, about $230 difference. That's minuscule. However, the more precise that these are indicated, precisely that they're indicated, guys, in terms of a double bottom, that's going to give us more. That's close, guys. That's close. Within a couple $100, that's very, very close in terms of setting the foundation, guys, of what could be a reversal pattern. So we're excited about this move, this spike to the upside. We want you guys to follow us. If you're just tuning in, follow us on Bitcoin Spike on Twitter, guys, and also join our VIP. We welcome you guys. A lot of you are VIP already, but that's our guys. The VIP are in the back room. They're having a blast, and we just love trying to take care of them, giving them charts and anything we can do for them. We really appreciate that. Bringing them new coin offerings, absolutely. Some nice opportunities. That 5,500 that you guys see there and USD test. Talk to me before you guys go after that. There's a few pointers I think I can give to you, and it's not complicated, guys. Just so you know, it looks like we're what are we doing? Are we starting to maybe want to curl up a little bit here? Let's see what we're doing. Just a touch, okay. That's what I like to see. Just maybe a touch there. We're starting to curl up just a little bit. We're going to want to see whether or not this is going to be a confirmation, okay, of the previous. I'm going to say the previous support into a resistance, and if so, is it going to get wound up with this cross line of what should be a support that's indicated by the prior resistance here, this trend line, this cross trend line, okay? We're going to reference that and this area very closely, and it's going to be, I'm going to say, yes, the crypto kingdom is back, guys. You don't need to worry about that. We've got the crypto kingdom back 100%. We are here, and VIP exclusive is definitely back, and you guys will enjoy that, and so will I. So sorry for making. I dialed in from the wrong phone, guys. Wrong IP phone, etc. Just typical me. All I'm focused on is VIP and trading and this and that. I was like, well, okay, I messed up again. But that happened back when I had Doge holders. I used to have Doge holders. The Twitter for Doge holders. And I stopped that when it started getting towards its high because I didn't think it made sense to hold towards the high. We're always trying to identify the low and the high, guys. I want to let you guys know that. But that's a sweet name, right? Doge holders. Like that, yeah, that was like the deal, right? Doge holders. It was nice. But we changed that in terms of just, I didn't want people to hold while it was high. I'm like, no, now we were live during Dogecoin when it hit 74 cents plus. And I'm like, the coach has blown the whistle on the football field. It's like, it is time. And so we enjoy finding the lows. We enjoy finding the highs and communicating that to you guys. The more successful that you guys are, the more successful that the overall market is. And we hope to be a part of that in the future with all of you. We sincerely do. And to the extent that we can continue to be of service to you guys, we would appreciate you guys reaching out to us and letting us know how we can continue to do that in fine form and fashion. So we'll review the overall entirety of the move. Let's just kind of cover the basics again so that we can just stay in touch with how impressive of a move this is. Now, as we look at this, guys, let's just measure this right there. Let's bring this down about almost 45% within 11 days. If anyone asks you, you can let them know the most recent spike was about 45% in 11 days, guys. So that is the type of price action that we want to experience, guys. This small nuanced move here, those are the types of moves that we want to catch. Definitely in terms of if something's going to move to the downside, we want to catch that as well, guys. We're on the top, we're on the bottom in terms of all of this. Now, in terms of being oversold, it looks like we have just deflected off of that line. As you look at the RSI on the top, we have just struck the 30 mark, guys. That's technically, I'm not going to say it's on every time frame right now, but technically we just struck oversold territory. Okay, that's typically bullish. You guys know that. That's typically bullish. That's when buyers start to look at it and be like, well, we've touched it a few times here. Where are we? It may be time to do something here. So as we look at this, are we fighting to get back into this channel? It looks like we're very close, guys, or into this wedge, really. But a wedge is a different. I guess it's a constricted channel. We'll say that. As we look at this falling wedge, it's supposed to be bullish. I'm waiting for a fake out here, guys. I'm looking for the fake out to see if it's indicated, and if it is, we're just going to be excited to see what can happen. Bitcoin has popped a few times today to the upside, and you guys know that we were a part of I think each one of them, particularly one of them, where it was just like we had a small spike, and then it was like, well, pattern formation. Look for your pattern formations and breakout, and sure enough, we had a nice move of about 2%, just a nice move to the upside. So those are the moves we want to be a part of. And as you guys are, a lot of you are holding Bitcoin. Some of you have been around for a while. Some of our members, some of you guys are just tuning in, and maybe you're rewatching this later and you want to know, what's the long-term potential of Bitcoin, guys? I love the long-term potential. I love the story. I really believe in the crypto space. I would not be doing this if I did not. Okay, I believe in the people who are investing as well. I believe in you guys, and it's just it's where I feel like we need to be right now. It's just the right. I'm going to say it's the right Would you say it's the right space? Now I'm gonna draw one more thing right now that I think would be really nice to see. Okay, and you guys have held around for a while. Some people have tuned out. They maybe have heard enough. Okay, let's do one more thing while we've just got the room to kind of ourselves here for a second. What if we were able to formulate something that looked kind of like this? Okay, something that looked a little bit like this. Okay, and I talked about this a few days ago, but we do have that trend line above us, right? We do, which would act essentially as a line of resistance, right? If we could hold somehow, if we could somehow hold this pattern formation here, and it could even be a little bit skewed, but if we could hold that and formulate some form of a bull flag, guys, that would be about the most exciting thing that we could imagine. If we could decide to formulate a bull flag, it would only take, guys, it would take what? It'd probably take us being in oversold territory, at least on the 1 hour. Absolutely, guys. So we're there right now on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, let's look at the RSI. We're not far away, guys. We're not far away from being oversold. As we look at this, guys, we're at, we'd like to get to 30. We're at 36 right now. Okay, so we're not that far away on the 4 hours, guys. On the 4 hourly, the 4 hourly chart is a strong chart to be saying that, guys. This whole move started with us at 30 on the 4 hour. We're at 36 now, guys. That's pretty strong, guys. Now, on the daily, we were low. Okay, we were low, but we had already crested down on the daily. As I recall it, if we look at the daily RSI, we had already crested down below 30, guys, one time, and we really didn't even touch down onto 30 again on the daily to achieve this move. Now, we've achieved, we've achieved kind of overbought territory in this move for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a habit, and please pay attention, has a habit of pushing up above, multiple times up above the overbought territory, particularly in the bull run. It did that quite a few times in January and February and March. It just decided to do that. Even really since last year, it decided to do that on through, I'd say, 2020. So it has a habit of doing that, and we'd love to see that replicate itself. Now, it has. I'd say it's taken a nice, jaunt down from the overbought territory. But I'm more concerned right now without the predictives really playing it really strongly in play, because we don't have much to compare it without going all the way back to 2017 or 18 or 19. I don't want to really go that detailed right now. What I will say is on the hourly, we're looking pretty good on the RSI. On the 4 hourly, we're starting to look really interesting on the RSI. Okay, I just think that is very, very interesting. And yes, the kingdom. What's up? What's up, Angel? So as we look at this, let's zone back out into this and let's recreate our chart patterns. There we go. Let's recreate those chart patterns so that we can look at them again and discuss the fact that this guys, just this bullish pattern, guys, this descending wedge, I want to see this be part of a fake out. However, we can look at that in terms of just being positive news for you. I hope it is. I don't know what you guys are doing now. And as we look at this is nice to look on the lower time frame. It looks like when we struck that on the candlestick, and you'll see these nuanced levels here as we look at, and it looks like we were right on, weren't we, when we did hit, probably during the stream. We'll have to go back exactly when that happened, but I haven't wanted to dig in too in depth because people get turned off because it's just too, it's just too detailed, right? So, but digging into it, I kind of have to at this point. I'm like, I have to see what's going on. It looks like we've zigzagged, and that's a perfect expression of a zigzag. You guys see that? Just a nice zigzag. Anytime you see this right here, that's a nice zigzag, right? Just beautifully well done. So it looks like we're right at this precipice here, and I'm glad we went to the 5 minute. People always leave when I go to the 5 minute. I'm like, why? That's where all the good trading is done, but I had to go down there, guys. So I had to see what was going on because this is the hourly, and clearly on the hourly, we're not going to see all of the price action. So we have, while it doesn't look like on the hourly, and it would be a question whether or not on the hourly as well as a backup touch, we would expect to go down and really touch this again. we are right on this threshold right now as you guys look at the 5-minute chart. When I guess we could spend some time down here, but we have exactly, and I'm glad I drew those lines correctly, huh? You can see how well those lines were drawn right on this this cross directional trend line. I'm going to say that, and just deciding if it wants to, to do some sort of a trajectory. Now we would watch at this point for a breakdown from here, along with this line of support repeating potentially, and especially for a pattern formation in here, guys. Why would we watch for a pattern formation? Because we've hit along this line of support one time, okay? We've already hit one time. So if we hit it again, there's another possibility, whereas we were kind of in free fall mode here. This is a line of support that I would think we might get some sort of a pattern formation if we can't traject back into this otherwise kind of bullish pattern, guys. I'd say that. You can see kind of some variance that went on here as we kind of inspect and take a closer look at this, but you'll also see how well formed that is overall. That's a nicely formed falling wedge. It certainly is. It's a nicely formed falling wedge. As we look at the 5-minute, a bullish pattern doesn't really merit breaking down, except for the fact I'm going to tell you guys, the buyers may have just backed off during this a bit. We can feel that expression when we're trading, etc. We know when people are starting to take their trades early. They're taking their profits a little early. They're playing a little bit more conservatively. I would say that this trend line, the reason that it got hit is because people, and guys, that's just the previous confluent, trend line, the previous resistance that it's going to be drawn out by the traders, just so you guys know, and at around that level of 37,980 or so. It's going to be that previous support, previous resistance that's going to serve as the support. So that's just a trading technique, guys. That's why they got hit, because there were orders there. I'm going to tell you right on that line. People calculate. You have no idea how quick the fastest traders are, guys. We try and be as quick as them every day. And we had just a bang up day. I think I booked about 10 trades, positive trades today. It was a lot of fun, guys. We had a blast today. And I wanted to tell you guys, a lot of times if you're tired and you're trading, okay, if you're worn down from your job, your stress, your life, whatever it is, take a breather, take a breath. I've been booking. I'll have a scenario where I'll probably book every morning. I'll probably book about 5 trades or so, positive, this and that. I'll find myself get a little bit tired. When I get a little bit tired, I'll get to a trade and I'll barely squeak it out. I'll get to it and I'll frustrate and this and that. And as tired as I am, it'll be that much more frustrating. Today, I didn't do that. I booked 5 positive trades in the morning, and I just wanted to tell you guys this story to see if it helps you. When I booked 5 positive trades, I knew I was going to be tired, and I've been frustrated. I've been kind of hitting this wall, and then my trades have been becoming increasingly difficult for me to really satisfy. So today I took a break after booking 5 positive trades, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take a break. And sure enough, when I got back into the action, it was 5 more, just bam, 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 bam. So when you are gearing yourselves towards trading, when you feel that fatigue set in, etc., make sure you take a break. Make sure you're able to regroup. Get a fresh look at the market, get some, fresh air, get some, some blood circulation, etc. And if you need to go work out, do something like that, spend some time with family. I know you guys are good at that, but it makes a huge difference on your ability to really interact. We don't realize how intense trading is, guys, because it's here all day long. You guys know that, and it'll put you to the test. Absolutely, something that's open 24 hours a day. Guys, it's going to stress out even the most capably minded and technically minded individuals. And I know you guys are good traders. I know you guys know what you're doing in crypto. Otherwise, you wouldn't. I'm going to say otherwise you wouldn't be in crypto, because guys, the people I know on Wall Street, etc., they don't even know how to trade crypto. You guys know that they don't even know how to trade crypto. So I know you guys are that. So. In terms of this, we're waiting for this move here. We're up against the previous line of support that is potentially turning into resistance. The one thing I'll say, I don't want to crawl this all the way to the ground. I just have, a position. I have a position. Hey, Blake, what's up, brother? Nice to see you, Blake. Welcome. This is a good channel. You're in the right place. Glad you found us. Welcome. This is Crypto Kingdom and also Bitcoin Spike. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you guys follow us at Bitcoin Spike. And if you'd like to join our VIP membership, we have back rooms with just people that are killing it, guys. Killing it all day long. And we have charts, etc. Good stuff going on. A great team. And just what people from J.P. Morgan, BlackRock, ex-J.P. Morgan, BlackRock, etc. They come here. All right, they just do. We also have blue collar to white collar. Is anyone who wants to beat the market, who wants to learn to trade. We focus on the fundamentals and technical analysis, like you wouldn't believe. So. That's my introduction, just to welcome you, and not to promo or anything, but just welcome. That's the group you just found. So we're glad that YouTube lets you find us. That's a good thing. We have Angel doing some shout outs tonight. He's our $11,000 top supporter, and he is just he's King Kong in here. I want to let you guys know he is literally he just is. He's got just like hammer hands. If he needs to hit the button to buy something, I'll tell you, like the super chats are indicative. He'll buy it, and he's the one walking around. It's like, at this price, you got to buy this, and it's nice to have him around. He's been around Bitcoin since $7.70 some odd cents. So he is the man, and we appreciate him being here and all of you guys being here. And we would appreciate also if this Bitcoin price would like to get back up into this falling wedge, because I like a bullish formation, even if it's been a little bit messy. Now, if we talk about this, if it does not show this previous support line after the breakdown as a resistance, guys, if it wants to curl around or back up into this, if it doesn't want to really reconfirm and move to the downside and play around with this level of what's going to be a support, I'm going to tell you, it may frustrate some of the traders. Okay, we'll be excited to get back into this zone, but as we look at this breakout, we're going to be compromised because we're kind of towards the end of the formation, and you guys understand kind of the nuance, the technicals. I speak about normally about 3/5, okay? 3/5, about 60% of this. I want about no more than about 60% of the entirety of this falling wedge, satisfied or completed by the time it's going to, break out. So ideally, we want to hit on top, bottom, and up. You can do 2 or 3 hits on the top or bottom. I'm going to say that. I think technical is 3 on top and 3 on bottom. Just so you guys know, we just follow the textbooks, guys. We follow what Wall Street, what the exchanges, guys, what the investment bankers, etc., what they're taught. We want to know it because those are the guys trading against us, and some of them have like doctorates and stuff. I'm like, well, okay, you have a doctorate in advanced market behavior. I'm like, all right, well, let's trade. Let's see what we can do. So I want to know everything they know. We cover the details that they do cover, and it's boring sometimes. Surprise, surprise, it's boring. It's not all hype, but we can beat them. All right, so it's not always hype, go make money kind of deal, but we do beat them. Okay, so and some of them beat some of us. I'm gonna say that. So we look forward to beating them every day, or at least a good competition. So we keep it friendly in here, at least a good competition without a doubt. So as we look at the falling wedge, we do have this line of support. Okay, it's going to be a cross trend line. You guys understand how those are formed and why that's there. That's going to be expressed. Now, we hit the cut loose take kind of point yesterday. You guys know that. We did it with a baby head and shoulders right along this trend line, guys. This little bitty baby head and shoulders here. You have to really look into it. Also, the M pattern formation. I did bring that up kind of with a nuance the other night. What I'm going to talk about is the fact that if we can continue to push even laterally on this, guys, if we can continue, what would be nice if we can continue to push even laterally, at some point this trend line, whichever time frame you find the trend line on, okay, because the trend line is going to, unfortunately, due to the fact that the lines change, this is on the hourly. I like the hourly for this. The daily is going to express this completely differently, but we're trading this on the hourly right now, okay? I think that's probably the biggest time frame that people who trade a lot that they're going to want to really look at, okay? That they're really going to want to draw lines on. Now, we start off, we'll go to the weekly, guys. We go to the weekly. We draw out, the entirety of this original formation, just so you guys know. Yeah, this original formation that we were able to decipher. I just want to show you guys what we went through and how it kind of caught into the mix here. Is we found this falling wedge on the weekly. I want to show you guys this. I found this on the weekly. No one found this, guys, but me on the weekly, and I sent out a great tweet on it. I always copy all the big guys. I copy Elon and Tesla and BlackRock and J.P. Morgan and whoever else, Price Waterhouse, Cooper, etc., just because I want them to have our diagnostics. So what I found was this, and I want to just show you, okay, the descending wedge that I found on the weekly. Do you guys see the descending wedge that I found on the weekly? And guys, I'm going to tell you, I found it when it was breaking down. Let me go ahead and redo this. I found it when this wedge on the weekly, and guys, no one found that but me, all right? I spend hours and hours. That's not egotistical. I'm letting you guys know how hard I work. I know you guys work hard too. I found this on the weekly when this was breaking down in this zone. And it was troubling, it was concerning. So I let people know this is a problem because this is supposed to be bullish. Sure enough, it just started to ramp up, and guys, that was the big move up. It was just phenomenal. So on that weekly chart, I'll dig into the weekly, and it was clearly expressed, here in terms of a falling wedge here on the weekly, and you'll see very little's expressed other than a triple top, very clearly a triple top on the weekly without a doubt, right? And this falling wedge. So I felt that was important to bring that to people's attention, that yes, there was an indicated falling wedge, which worked out that strongly, okay, after I brought it to people's attention. And it was just, it was nice to be able to have made that call, guys. That was nice. Nice TA by the group. I'll say I appreciate you guys supporting the group and supporting the channel very much, and that enables me to do a lot of homework for Bitcoin and for the market. We've done a lot of homework for Bitcoin and some different coins. So just call it homework. So as we look at this, this same falling wedge pattern is indicated here on the micro. We have broken down. This is not unlike what happened on the weekly. It was like this. It was a little bit earlier. Again, I talk about that 60%, about that 3/5 level that I'd like to see something essentially, complete itself by. That just gives it some more room to the upside without just kind of dragging and rolling down. So that's kind of I'd say after my experience, etc. And my reading, my understanding of the field, I do believe that 3/5 level is a key important guys, is important technical fact. So I'll just say a technical fact. So you guys can do your research on that. So being deep down into this, beyond that 3/5, it's not a deal breaker. I'm going to say it is not a deal breaker. And I appreciate that, Angel. Thank you for saying my TA is superb. I hope it is, and you know how much time I spend on it, and I spend it on for you guys just to make sure that we are up to date and we can trade. I want to know, and also just getting some additional information, etc. I want to make sure that that information is accurately delivered, and a lot of it's TA, a lot of it's just, some of it's market intel. I will bring market intel to the group. I will do it in the form of new coins in terms of alts that are on the radar. You guys know that. I will bring it to the group. And we have, what was it, Rune? Rune went up 90% in, 6 days? I was so excited to bring Rune to you guys. Yeah? Rune, huh? So excited to bring Rune to you guys. And what did it go up in 6 days? It went up 90%. Right now, everybody's talking about it. I looked at the social radar. It's like number 2 in terms of what's being talked about, aside from Bitcoin. But Rune went up 90% in 6 days after I brought it to you guys. I was so excited about that. Very, very just like hyped about that. Very excited. When you guys do well and make money, that's the whole idea. There's no real reason we could just study around here. I don't think we're into that. No, we want to book trades and we want to make cash, and that's what crypto is all about. It's fun and it's a great way to make money. That's what attracts people to it. That's what attracted me to it originally. So the trading component is enjoyable. We enjoy that challenge continually. Just to cover the issues here, and just congratulations to everyone who traded Rune, because it's been hard to lose if you guys got in or even scaled into it a little bit in the beginning, guys. It was 90% in 6 days was phenomenal. I think right now it's just a ridiculous return right now. So in 6 days, that's nice. But we've had 2x's, 3x's. We've had all kinds of all types of returns, and that's par for the course, right? That's nice. We're focused on Bitcoin because the price action has just been beautiful. It has been beautiful lately. So that's nothing to just kind of slide by. It's like Bitcoin has put some of the other altcoins to shame. And there's still some great bargains out there. There's some great coins that I think haven't really developed as much as they're going to in terms of publicity or popularity, and they have some real undervalued, I'd say an undervaluation due to the fact that they're not really well known. And I look forward to bringing some of those to your attention, and some of those maybe resting with some individual contacts that I have, etc. And I'll deploy those at the right time. Those will be very interesting for us to discuss as a group. Or individually, etc. So, it will maybe be along the lines of a rune or something like that, and hopefully a multiple thereof, I'd say. So, as we look at the formation, it is it is not moving a lot. Let's say that it is not really moving a lot, though. It just starts to appear again. We're going to want to go down to the 5 minute just to check this, and it's just right along that line right now. So it hasn't moved a lot. This is the nature of trading. You're going to see it just, I've got the little radar bubble on it. If you guys can see that on your screen, just a little radar bubble in terms of, what it is choosing to do, what's really going on with it. It's just, it is that beacon that we are looking at to determine what it's going to do. What it's done in the 5 minutes, so you guys can understand the detailed, nuanced price action here. The detailed price action of Bitcoin right now is going to be, okay, it's going to be in the form of an ascending wedge. Okay, that's going to be exactly what it is. We would compare that it is to a different time frame. It's vertical enough. I'm not really worried about the fact that it's supposed to be technically bearish. I mean, technically, yes, it's supposed to be bearish. Okay, an ascending wedge is technically supposed to be bearish, but it's just vertical enough in terms of a re-challenge after hitting this line of support that I would anticipate that it is it's still within the realm. If it wanted to accomplish itself, certainly it could. And I'll say it could have taken off up out of, if we really looked at the lower time frames, it really could have taken off through kind of a bullish flag formation. So we'll watch for a flag formation or some other type of formation up along the top. It's close. It's probably an expanding wedge, but you do see this hitch here. So I'm thinking maybe on the lower time frame there was some indication that it was into some sort of a flag formation. Okay, you see that downward sloping channel there. Yeah, you see this established there. It looks like we had an amplitude necessary for a bull flag, baby bull flag. Then we had this downward sloping channel there. So that is, that's what we would like to see here. And it's just interesting, when I go in the lower time frames, people leave. They just leave the room, and I'm like, those people don't catch the bottom, do they? Nope, they don't. Why? What is it? 98% of the people don't make it in the market, right? Why do you think that is, huh? They just can't stand the 5 minute time frame, huh? I don't know why. I don't know. They don't want to know it. They're up at 1:30 in the morning. You're up at 1:30 in the morning. You don't want to catch a small move that's gonna, that could potentially make or break your next 5 days, maybe 5 weeks. I mean, come on. It's just interesting to me. Huh? I see that dynamic all the time. People just don't want to get into the details. They don't want the details. Well, they want someone to handle all the details for them. And when that someone explains the details to them, they don't want to know the details. So, I mean, you want a big picture story, and it's just, you can look at the big picture. You can buy it and wait 5 years. How about that? Why don't you buy it and wait 5 years? That's not financial advice if you want the big picture, because otherwise I think you're wasting your time. If you want to just tune in and tune out when someone starts telling you the details that they've looked at. So anyway, obviously I have an opinion on that, but that's okay. Everyone's entitled to one. Hopefully everyone's entitled to one, and I know mine's probably wrong half the time. So hey, that's good. They may be right the whole time. How about that? I'll give it to them. Be nice to see this kind of kick up on that line, since we already have that expressed there. I'm just getting into a little bit of technique that I would like to see play out, and not that it will, but it would be nice to see this continue to challenge up. I would at least want to see this, do something interesting here, get back up in that channel. What I don't want to do is for it to waste time. I'm going to say waste time. It's not a waste of time. But if it wants to kind of, I'm not even going to say pretend. Yeah, if it wants to get up around this area, and on the 5 minute, we're going to redraw the charts here a little bit. We're going to probably see, I don't want this to happen. I don't want it to curl back around, back down into here. It's just more time, right? So as we catch the bottom, catch the top, it's just, it requires this, so I'm game. You guys know I'm the guy. You guys are the guys. We're going to find the top, find the bottom. We're going to catch the next spike, and that's just what we're about. So we definitely want to catch this. If it does, if it does fail this pattern, what in terms of picking up the next like big hit trade on it, the strategy, I would say right now, after kind of the take point was, I'd say the overall kind of concurring big trend break take point was in the back rooms, and that was just me saying we broke through the trend line with a head and shoulders, and that was a big moment just to break through that with a head and shoulders. And yeah, we've experienced some price action since then, which has been to the downside, but within a pattern conformance. So that's important as we look at that, guys, just to remind yourselves that, typically we would just say, well, let's hit the Fibonacci's. It may be a little bit interesting as we look at the macro as well, guys. I would say this on the daily. We could look at this as well because we really haven't, let's talk about this. We haven't talked about this yet, guys. We haven't talked much about the fact that we have not, on Bitcoin, we really haven't played out on the Fibonacci's too heavily. Now we have on the candlesticks a little bit, but we've gone past them frequently, right? As you look at the macro, as we were to look at the macro and really diagnose the nature of the involvement of the Fibonacci targets, it hasn't been that severely indicated, guys, on Bitcoin. It just hasn't. So, even this pour down, these moves into this zone, into the 50%, where we finally decided to really take off. Yes, it's a nicely indicated kind of zone here, but the fact that we stepped down into that zone, okay, and yes, we hit it this is on the daily chart. I'd like to see the conformance on the daily chart. Right. Instead, we saw a lot of candle action and severe moves to the downside during these areas, and the daily was just kind of slowly kind of making its way along. So it's interesting that Bitcoin kind of has that demeanor, that pricing demeanor to it, right? That's indicated that we're not always operating on the Fibonacci's. Okay, and the Fibonacci's have been so crucial. They give us the pricing targets as you estimate either your targets on the downside or your projected take targets on the upside, your extensions, either your retracements or your extensions. That's those are our go-tos, right? And they're just percentage calculations that they're guaranteed to be right if you draw them right. So that's it's the standard of the industry as well. So it gives us a lot of I'd say a lot of confidence in entering into our trades. So the fact that Bitcoin, yes, it'll pick your orders up at the Fibonacci's. You guys know that it'll pick them up. It just doesn't show up on the charts, right? So the line chart is a consolidated look, irrespective of however we describe it. It's just a consolidated look. It's more consolidated at the higher time frames, okay? At the larger time frames, let's say from the hourly, as we go to, let's say, the 4 hour, we're going to have on the 4 hour, we're going to have less overall, I'd say, variation in the pricing. It's going to be more condensed, more consolidated, right? So the larger time frames, we go to the daily, it's even more consolidated, right? So the lower the time frames, the more variation we're going to see in the pricing. So at the hourly, it's already looking like enough variation in it. But we have to really get into the minuscule, the smaller time frames. My point is into the smaller time frames to see those hits on the line chart at the Fibonacci levels, okay? So, and even when we do go there, I'm going to say you really have to get to, it becomes almost impossible to get to a line chart that you can see on the frequency basis or the duration basis, okay, on your program to where you can see the hits at the Fibonacci, the macro Fibonacci levels. And I don't know if you guys know that, but your program will allow you to do it. But by the time you get down to that level, the lower time frames, in terms of it not fitting on your screen, it will take you, it's almost impossible, guys. You can do it, but I'm going to say it's very, very difficult to achieve that on your program. So the Fibonacci's, have not played out, on the macros visually, I'll say for us. It's not we don't have those charts to just rest back and relax. Instead, we have these, we have a lot of variation here. We have a lot of different just working down into a Fibonacci slowly like this. And yes, there was price action down below these levels, but it's odd that seems to continually be expressed with Bitcoin and that we're seeing that now where we're not really operating on the Fibonacci retracements right now. We're not really operating on those pricing targets. You guys get that, huh? You understand, like the typical pricing targets where we would expect to see some price action. Traders are normally just, and something that's going on, guys. I'm going to tell you that. Normally traders are just all about it. They're all about pricing targets. That's what, we're setting up our pricing targets, ready to go. It's almost like there's a grip on the market. I'm going to say this, almost like there's a grip, like an unnatural kind of grip on the market right now. Just copy that I said that. For some reason, it seems like there's a grip on the market. I know that JP Morgan did just announce recently that they're going to be offering Bitcoin to their wealth clientele. As you guys know that, their wealth management division, their clientele. So, in terms of the overall grip on the market that I'm kind of feeling right now, it's just, it's to have it on the hourly to where we're really not hitting any of these Fibonacci's. And it's just, any of these pricing targets, none of them really. And instead, it's just going right into pattern formations like this. It's just, I don't know. It's interesting, guys. It's just interesting. Now, we can escalate the Fibonacci's and say, yes, we hit targets within here, which we did. We traded those, all day long. There were some severe moves to the downside. This one severe move here, yes, people traded this, believe it or not. People in the group, this on the hourly, people in the group traded this. Out of maybe 1, 2, or 3, maybe half of them were positive trades, maybe 2/3, or let's say if we had 1, 2, or 3, maybe all 3. I don't know if anyone got all 3 of the trades that were indicated in this area. I would like to know, because those were some heavy trades. Yes, you can trade that on the way down, not just the short, guys. If you look at the smaller time frames, these are popping up and down. These are these are interesting. Of course, it's a great time to short if you're going to catch that, which we did. We caught that head and shoulders at the neckline perfectly, which broke down, and that was a great position to short. Shout out to Jay. I want to shout out to Jay Suave because he's been shorting. He's a VIP. He's been doing well. He's going short, he's going long, and that's really nice to do on Gate. You guys know that Gate Exchange. You guys, 5,500 in the top level there, top left there. And make sure you check in terms of how to claim that. So it's not too complicated. I can let you know what I know about that, but it's a real deal. By the way, it's a real deal. So I look forward to you guys taking advantage of that. I hope you do, so you can trade with us, right? You guys are already here. I hope you can trade with us at that level. So, on the hourly, let's just review the fact that we have been within this wedge. We've already been below. I'm going to say we've already been below this, this line marked, this dotted line on the RSI marked, 30, which is going to be underneath that's going to be oversold, right? So we've already been oversold here, and we're just dancing along that, okay, in terms of the RSI. Now, typically, guys, when we do that, I'm just going to say, typically when we decide to kind of dance along that line, we can achieve, some lower pricing. I'm going to say, in this level here, look up and around mid-July, we did dance along this 30 here, and we did continue to have negative pricing. So we're not out of the woods here yet. It's just if we do surprise, if we do spike, if we do, what Bitcoin can do, I just want to be here. I want to be, either streaming or, discussing things in the back rooms or something with people if possible. I want to make sure that we catch it, right? And at least with a position. If we say, okay, it's time to go, right? It's time to sleep or time to do whatever. Then at least with a position kind of covered, et cetera, on the backside with a stop loss to where we have some exposure to positive price action. I never want to be outside of positive price action. That is my goal. I never want to be outside of positive price action, guys. I just there's no point in me being in the market if I don't have exposure to positive price action, and that's the way that I kind of that's the way I try and take care of things. That is my goal. So continually and kind of without stop. So as we continue to kind of remain in the same area, I'd say in terms of, let's see, there we go. That's nice, isn't it? Did you guys see me draw that earlier? Yeah, you sure did, didn't you? You remember when I drew that earlier? There we go. That's nice, huh? Yeah, I'll take a picture of that earlier one. I promise I drew it, huh? And you guys who were watching, like, he drew it, huh? You guys know that, right? Yeah, I did. I drew that. It'd be real nice. It was kind of going below. I'm like, well, I'd still like to see it. And sure enough, huh? That's what we got, huh? That's nice, huh? Yeah, there we go. VIPs, what you guys, yeah, we do this all day long, huh? Don't we? We literally do. For the guys that are in the back, we'll draw something, I'll draw something, and it'll just be like, I'd really like to see that, and then we'll seeing it. So it's nice. It's price action, right? It's what we're used to. So yeah, that's nice in terms of that kind of bull flag here. Move up. I'd like to see another formation on the top and be able to break back into that bullish pattern. So that was a nice move there. I'm glad I set that line there earlier. I'm glad it's doing exactly what we wanted it to do. And we try and operate on that level to where it's not too much to handle in terms of, I'd really like to see it go exactly here, and then within 15 hours, and then 15 hours is exactly there. I'm not into a spooky level of TA or anything. It's just some of this stuff is predictive in terms of what you want to see in terms of like the RSI right now. You get your indicators together on the cross time frames, etc. You're going to get to where you're pretty predictive. And if you trade enough, Miles, what's up? Miles, yeah, you saw that. You're like, not bad. But yeah, it's true. The Miles is doing a great job. We're glad you're feeling better, Miles. Nice to have you around. And we hope you're still resting up. You need to rest up. I know maybe you're pretty like I've been sleeping, so much. But Miles has been a little sick, so it's nice to have you feeling better. And yeah, I'd just like to see this thing move to the upside because Bitcoin can just surprise you with a slam dunk to the upside, and when it does, you guys know I'm usually in the back end. I'm putting in some Jordan dunk or something like that after we boom, we make a positive trade, and that's just kind of what I like to do, right? I like to book the trades. I like to experience profit, and I like you guys to experience profit. That's the goal in terms of trading. So it's not paper trading, guys. We don't paper trade, right? About to pop. Like to see that, Steve. But no, it's I'm not one of those guys that recommends that people paper trade, because people will literally start using different pieces of paper. That's the one thing. They'll paper trade, then they'll wad it up, or they'll rewrite their trades or something else. And I'm like, man, if you don't have a risk of running out of money at all, if there's, it's like, if there's no consequence, people just wind up like making up a new page of trade. And I'm like, what is this, right? So it's at least run out of money. Like, be a man and run out of money, or be a woman and run out of money. Whatever it is, just do something. A small amount of money. You could, coffee. We talk, we joke around and VIPs. Just trade a cup of coffee. Maybe you make 2 cups of coffee. See what you can do. But you're in the market for a reason, right? It's to experience some degree of risk. If you're learning, I understand that. But at the same time, once things start counting, that's when you start paying attention. That's when you start learning lessons. Everything else is a theoretical classroom. Everything else is a video during lunch, in high school, and no one's really paying attention. And who cares? It's just you have to engage. You have to experience the risk. You have to go through the risk loss analysis, and you have to experience the loss. You have to be able to gauge that and learn from that. And when you're stifled from doing that, it's all on paper, this and that, it's just not the same experience. I've seen people do it, and I've never seen a situation where it's really been beneficial. It's more like it's more like maybe someone is buying time when they don't have, I don't want it to be limiting if someone can't trade and they want to feel like they're trading for sure. And there are, platforms or programs to understand that. But I've never seen it, really benefit anybody. Honestly, I've never seen it benefit anybody. So, just some exposure in the market is important, and when people shy away from that, and I don't know, it's just not if people don't like that I don't like paper trading, well, heck, man, you won't be against me in the market, I guarantee you that. So go paper trade. That's okay. And I'm not trying to be mean, but we want people against us in the market. We want the best people against us in the market. That's who we are. We are real traders. We bring it, and that's just what we do. We want people in the market, and that's not being mean. It's just that's who we are. That's what we are. We're day traders. That's what we like to do, and a lot of us have been around in markets for a long time and had a lot of success. So that's who we are. That's what we do. We don't hide it, and there's no shame in that. We're not being. I don't know. I just want to be constructive to people as well. If it's not beneficial to someone, I'm not going to just welcome them down the as I would say, like the primrose path, and then it'd be a bad path. So I'm gonna be on the record saying that no, it's not good. Like it's not useful to paper trade, right? From my experience of what I've seen, like the data that I have, and it's just I don't know how to emphatically say that enough so people understand that. It's just definitely I have an opinion on it for a reason. So. It's maybe not like, nicely said and everything, but I don't think it needs to be because I feel that opinionated about it. I'm that serious about it. So, but everyone make their own decision, of course. Everyone's always going to make their own decision, and people will still paper trade. That'll be still what they may try to do. But, we definitely actually trade. A lot of you guys have phenomenal returns. Some of you have bigger accounts than others, but you're all looking to make at least rational decisions. I want to be around traders who can make rational decisions in the market, right? Who can try and buy low, sell high, look at a few indicators. Like it's not rocket science exactly. Just look at a few indicators, like make sure everybody's like all present and accounted for, like upstairs, right? This is an indicator, right? It means that typically it's oversold. I write it on there for people sometimes. There's all kinds of tricks that you can put in here. We go through how to snap your trend line. Hold down your control button. We go through just the basics, like you snap it to your lines there. Just hold down your control button. It'll automatically make sure it's perfect. We go through tricks like that just to try and make sure that it becomes a little bit easier. I know it's not horribly intuitive or anything like that, but it's just it's something that I guess as a group, as we look at things as a group, things become a little bit easier when we work as a team. I guess we can definitely say that. So that's a good thing. And let me see, we could make a case now. It's almost 2:00. I guess we could make a case, right? Let's go ahead and make a case. What do you guys want to do? Let's make a case out of this. I want to make a case that potentially we could pick up here at the 38.2 at 38,379.50. Potentially, we could pick up at this zone because potentially we are at the 38.2% retracement, okay? Potentially, we could pick up at this zone. Now, we did not pick up at the 23.6. We didn't pick up at all, like zero. There was no hit on this kind of, I'm going to say the intra macro from the point of breakout, measuring the trend from the breakout of the previous zone. There was no hit whatsoever. We blew through the 23.6, the top level fib. So we're at the 38.2. It might be a position where we can experience some positive price action. Okay? And I haven't put it exactly like that, but it might be a position where we can experience some positive price action. We have this as a resistance right here. We have a dual line resistance, okay, in terms of the bottom formation of the wedge and the top formation of the wedge. Now, people want an easy answer, all right? People who want an easy answer, I'll give you a solution right now, okay? The solution to your question right now in terms of, well, what's the easy answer, okay? The easy answer is to have exposure right now to where if it breaks out to the upside, you're going to profit, period, okay? You have exposure to where if it breaks out, you have profit. Thereafter, you will designate Fibonacci levels, okay, that are going to be, I'd say, entered into with a triple down approach. You got VIPs use this. I'll tell you their philosophy is a double or triple down, guys, at each level of the Fibonacci. Not just a dollar cost average in at each level. Or no, guys, you're going to triple down at each level. What does that mean? That means you have a whole lot of cash down below. So you have a position to ride if it decides to take off. If people want a success theory that I've seen work amongst the VIPs, you have some position to ride up, correct? Yes. Then at each of these levels below, you're going to triple down. That is the strategy that I see working with the VIPs. That's the strategy where people can sleep at night. They can relax, not worry about it. They're covered. Now, they're maybe not as aggressive as other people would want to be in the market. Maybe other people want to make more if it does go up. But from a relaxed standpoint, as long as you have, I'm going to say, triple to 5x to 10x what your exposure is, you're not really, really worried about this, right? It's nice. It's good that we could continue to go up. But if you can put literal 10x cash into your position where this whole thing to fall down into 20 grand, or say, I'm going to put, we got whatever that figure is, okay? If you are capable of putting in a much larger amount of money, now you do want to take profits as well, right? So thus the pepper, the idea of peppering in at the top. Peppering in at the top. Then, if you're concerned about the trend, the easiest solution is a little bit of pepper. You wait till, okay, now we're still definitely continuing on a trend, okay, if that trend is in question for you. If you're overexposed at a level and it's uncomfortable for you, if it's uncomfortable for you and you're sweating the profits, you can take the profits. Take the profits and be happy with the profits. Don't ever regret that you could have made more money because it was making you uncomfortable. And you never want to be uncomfortable when you're trading. Period. It's not worth it. Life's too nice. We have too much fun in crypto. So the moment you start to stress about this stuff, take your profits if you want to take your profits. That's why they're there. You made them. You earned them. Take your profits, right? Yeah, we do use MACD every now and then. It's one of our indicators. We use confirmation. We've got a slew of indicators that we use, Blake. We're heavy into them, and I've got most of them hidden right now. So that's the notion of the game. When you're sweating your trades, and yes, it's nice to make money. Yes, it's nice everything. When you're sweating your trades, guys, that's when, if it's not fun anymore, and sometimes it's fun, right? Sometimes everything's enjoyable. Sometimes everything's fun. On the 5-minute, we're back into the wedge. Nice. On the 5-minute, we've broken back into the wedge a little bit. That's a good move. I like to see that. All right. And what do you guys see? Isn't that nice? You see that little buckle right here? You see how this, I want to show you how that played. You see the bend right here? That little, I call it a buckle or a bend. You see that bend right there? That is from this move that it made. And I'll probably drop that below. Okay, I'll drop that below the other, this right here. But you see that bend right there? You do, huh? You see the bend in the line? Right. Okay, see that bend? Where does this go? Bam, right there. You'll start to see your trend lines a little bit differently. You'll start to see your price action a little bit differently. The more you trade at lower levels, you'll see it on the micro and you'll see it on the macro, right? Yeah, you'll see it on the micro and you'll see it on the macro. That's a nice little curl up there, isn't it? Sure is. I like to see us getting back in that bullish pattern, huh? Let's see what we can do from inside that bullish pattern, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm here. What's going on? Let's see what we have. So we're getting back into, right now we just crawled up into. Now we'll see where it goes from here, guys. We'll see where it goes from here. Anything can happen, right? If this thing wants to launch, I'm not going to miss it. I haven't missed the bottom. I haven't missed the top. I'm not going to miss this. I mean, me sharing information, this is the top, period, on Bitcoin, 64,863.10. Okay, down to below 30,000 here recently. Hey, bam! Here's your ascending triangle at the bottom of the this most recent, just under 30,000. Okay, truth, literal, literally at the that's not going to be around here. It's going to be, where was this, at 30, right here. Excuse that, right here. Bam! Me getting that to people. Okay, so this is who I am. This is what I do. I enjoy doing this. I hope more than anybody else because that means I'll probably be better at it than anyone else except for maybe you guys, because I know you guys, some of you guys are really good, by the way. I see some of your charts during the day. I'm like, very impressive. So that's probably why you guys have been like professionals for a long time. The hourly still isn't really showing us up in that zone. It's going to take the hourly a second to crawl up in there. Why? Because the consolidated price action is represented on the hourly. The smaller time frames, the 5-minute, okay? And it can do anything. Wouldn't be surprised if that's just a little bit of a hook and it wants to just move on up in there. That'd be great if you want to move on up in there for us, please. We want to get back in that bullish pattern formation. You guys know that. We are down below that, just to recap. Let's get on the hour so you guys can see where we're at in the price action. Okay, we're in a falling wedge right now. We've broken down out of it. I believe there are some, I know there are orders below it, guys. Orders below on this line of support, which is across trend line from this previous resistance that traders are using. It's just too well indicated on this left-hand side in the previous price action to where it's going to be used as kind of a cross, resistance to support trend line, okay? That's what traders are looking at right now. So it has gone down. It's hit. If we look on the candles, it has hit. It's struck that trend line perfectly. We're trying to get back up into this falling wedge, okay? That's what we're trying to accomplish right now because this is a bullish pattern formation. We've discussed the fact that while I have them up, while I have the Fibonacci's up right now, all the pricing targets, we haven't been hitting them at all today. Just zero. So something else is going on. I've talked about the fact it seems like there's kind of a grip on the market. Something is going on. We've broken down out of the bullish wedge. I'm going to say it's a bullish wedge pattern. It is bullish. We've broken to the downside. Again, probably because there are additional orders waiting here. People are already lined up here to get in here with their orders. So that can bring the price down a bit. So instead of battling up in here with their cash, you have to understand how does the price get down there? Well, instead of people battling up in this area, in this wedge with their cash on their orders, where's their cash? It's literally tied up waiting at this level. You guys understand the way that the market is working, huh? The buyers, the traders, instead of having their cash deployed in this zone, have made a choice to enter into orders along this line. You guys understand that, right? That takes the strength out of this and it pulls it down to this line. Okay, and that's a conscious decision that the buyers will make is they will see the strength or the importance of this line. They'll see that it's going to be a line that's in all likelihood going to trade, and they'll want to book a positive trade. They'll want to make money. So whereas the reason that would happen in a situation like this, and just if you listen, I think you'll learn this. You may already know it. But as you trade one of these, what's difficult about a falling wedge is you're not always certain exactly when it's going to break out. Okay, you're not always. You really have to watch it. It may not be as highly probable. I'm going to say the lines on the interior are going to be nice to trade, but the breakout is a little bit more tenuous. It's a little bit lower of a probability than a hit along a trend line like this preceding line of resistance, which is going to be turned into. It already has been turned into a trade along the line of support. Okay, so people are calculating that difference, okay, and they're calculating and making a determination in terms of where they want their money allocated. And I mean it's either a this or a that. It's an A or a B. It's in this zone or it's below right here. Okay, it's an either or. It could be an and. It could be I'm trading in here with this here. Okay, with this area in here as well, okay? But people will take orders out of here and not trade as heavily in this area. They won't trade as heavily because they'll take their order and enter them here below on this support line. You understand that? That takes the strength out of this zone here, and it props it up right here. It makes it just drop down into here. That's where your orders are, right? That's where your cash is just essentially it's shifted to this area. The cash. It doesn't have to be like that. If there's an overwhelming, it's indicative of the condition of the market right now. I think that's an accurate portrayal of the price action right now and the condition of the market. I'm always looking at what is the condition of the market. If you guys know in the back, I'm always talking about what is going on. What does the market feel like right now, right? So that's important. Let's go to the 5 minute. Looks like we're trying to copy off that. I don't want to see that. That's a heavy copy off. Yeah, it is a heavy kind of copy off. Now, what I'd like to see is something. Let's see. Let's not see a bear flag. How about that? Let's not see a bear flag. We don't want to see a bear flag zigzag and just all the way down, do we? No, we don't. All right. So now we've tested that. Let's see. This might be about the time that we would say maybe Bitcoin's going to surprise us a little bit, huh? This is where it gets interesting for me, right? We've gone into this zone. Is where I pay attention. Okay, we've gone into this zone where we formed a bullish pattern. Okay, and look here, guys. We did even on the up. We broke out to the upside. This is what I'm talking about. People, and you have to say, guys, they had this experience, guys, and we had a few of these today. And I talked heavily in the back, and I talked about we need confirmation, right? Like here, we didn't get the confirmation on the breakout. There wasn't a breakout to use and a move to use the previous resistance as support and move to the upside. That wasn't indicated here. That could have been a much better move here. That could have caused people, this move here could have caused the traders to go ahead and move to this line of support below, right? Very interesting, huh? Very interesting, the nuance of it. You're not going to see that on anything, I'd say at the hourly, you're not going to see that fake out, right? You're not going to see that move to the upside. You see the result of it, right? The psychology shifts, right? It's a fake out to the upside. People get burned. They decide, some people did. Some people traded it perfectly, right? And as you look at this, it probably did shift people below to this line. The more you trade, you won't have to guess at things like that. You'll know it. You'll look at the price action and you'll know what happened. You'll know, yes, people got caught up in this. It was a break through the trend line here. And what happened? A lot of them probably lost money on the trades. All right, what does that do to people when they get back and settle in here? Well, they're not wanting to go up there again. I'll tell you that, right? No, they just got burned on that one, right? And you didn't get a good confirmation off this line and a move to the upside. No momentum, right? So you just see it do. Yeah, they're going to give up on this. What's their next hit that's a solid line? Their next hit that is a solid line is going to be this previous line of resistance, cross resistance turned into support. This diagonal line. These trade. You don't have to ask if they do. They just did. Literally right here. And as we look at this prior line of, and guys, it's a trend line. Cross, okay, resistance to support, right? Resistance along the top to support, okay? Cross, resistance to support. You don't have to ask whether or not this occurs. It just did, okay? It just struck here for a move, right? So that technique functions on not just this trade, but you can use this technique in any trade that you engage in, right? Just count that, guys. In any trade that you engage in, you can at least start to look at those dynamics, like across resistance to support, right? Okay, so that's, as we look at the nuance here, just look at this candle where people got burned here, right, in this bullish pattern. You see that? That's, somebody took that. I think I remember, let me see, there was a few situations like that today. There were a few situations like that. That is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, that was one that got a few people. It would be nice to set back within this zone. We are low enough on the RSI, guys, at least on the hourly. I want to check the 4 hourly again. Where are we at right now on the 4 hourly? We're at 37, so we've drawn back a little bit. We were at 36, okay? We were at 36 a bit ago. I would like to see, that's on the hourly now, setting some green candles. I don't want to, let's see here. Hold on. Let me go back to the line chart. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. How's that look, guys? A little bit better, huh? That'll work. Can we make that work, huh? Maybe so. That's a little better, don't you think? Let's get up in there. Let's see what Bitcoin can do. Come on. Let's see what we got. All right, so as we reestablish this pattern potentially, okay, this bullish pattern potentially, we're going to have to deal with, to some degree, the residual of the breakdown, okay? Because buyers, potentially a different set of buyers, a different set of traders, okay, got burned in this area, okay? Probably the psychological effect of that, and this was a big move, guys. That was just a big move. You guys remember that? I do. Them going to this, the majority, I'd say, or a faction of the traders going to this previous resistance to support trend line, going to that trend line as a pickup, okay, is going to have some impact for anyone getting into the market now, i.e. you and me, right? If we're going to execute a trade right now, like immediately now, not getting into the market, but you understand that. We have to deal with kind of the fallout here, or we can just kind of go to, let's see, the 4 hourly. We can kind of just keep it kind of nice and say we'll go to the 4 hourly. Let's see if we can find anything else that doesn't really disturb, the entirety of the trade. Now, I don't trade on the 4 hourly, but I'm just looking for any kind of variation that gives me a little bit more, I'd say kind of a solid, a solid stance where I don't have to pay attention to the small noise that was created, right? Because that was just some small noise. Right now, in terms of the approach we have on the market, that was just some noise from earlier on. We don't pay attention too much. We don't have to pay full attention to it. And we definitely recognize it, but it doesn't need to spoil anything. Yeah, that on the 4 hourly, I'm not liking that much either. That's got some variation to the top. I'm going to probably hunt for something that gives me, let me see there, that gives me some sort of a, some sort of a different viewpoint than what other people have. And not everyone's going to hunt like this, but I like to. All right, about the same. That's fine. The other option is potentially pushing. If we want to push, I don't want to push it, okay? I don't want to necessarily do this, and I'll show you guys. I don't want to push, and you'll have this opportunity at any point in time that you have a variation from a pattern. You'll always be able to push it. I would say 90% of the time, you'll be able to just push it. Well, now it's like this. You see that? That was easy. Sure was, huh? Almost too easy, right? You see that? Okay, the falling wedge right now. You'll have the opportunity at any point in time to push it, right? And let me scale this back a little bit. All you have to do is, there we go. Well, now we have the falling wedge. Okay, all right. What you don't want to do is hold on to a position. Just listen to this, please. What you don't want to do is necessarily hold on to a position when you told yourself you weren't going to do, and this is what you're going to say you're going to push. When you told yourself, well, I'm just not going to sell right now. And then, you break the trend line, well, I'm just not going to sell right now. And then you get into here, well, that was a big drop, but I'm still not going to sell. I think and then you get on into this and you wind up pushing. Okay, look at this. When you wind up pushing like this into a channel, etc., and the more broad that you make this, you're literally going to push this out into a downward channel at some point if it continues to expand. It's nice to have some threshold of take at some point. So maybe the answer in terms of whether or not you want to push this, maybe that's a stylistic move for you. But I don't want to encourage anybody who decided not to take in and around, let's say, a threshold which was at 23.6, right up on the extensions. That was a nice take. It was a nice take. The breakthrough of the in terms of some profits. A lot of you made a lot of profits, right? So in terms of like the pickup from like a little under 30 or around 30, I mean up to 45% in 10 or 11 days. That's a lot of profits, guys. So, it's nice to be a little reasonable, and take some profits maybe at this threshold. Take some profits in around the idea of breaking this trend line. And to, remain in a position, you guys know that. It's not financial advice, but I think I'm just repeating your mantra, if I could kind of call it that. You guys have a great way of expressing it, probably better than I do. But let's look here. Okay, now we're just going to get into making this a little difficult, huh? Is that what we're going to make it? We're still positively expressed. This is kind of what I was anticipating is that we would get back up into it. That's why I decided to stream, by the way. And it is a bullish pattern. And if we're going to reestablish a bullish pattern, I want you guys to know, okay, that we're in a bullish pattern or not. That we've deviated 1-2 times, hitting a cross line resistance to support, trend line, okay? Resistance to support, cross trend line, and that the psychology of the market and the traders right now is a little bit erratic. Okay, we're going to be searching for some new patterns. That's just a fact right now with this, particularly on the 5-minute, because people are trading the 5-minute. But Bitcoin will surprise you. You guys know that. Absolutely. We're going to be focusing on finding the spikes. I want to find the next Bitcoin spike. That's just it, right? And what do? Well, we found this down here, okay? We're going to start doing some more detailed analytics in terms of why this is important and how this type of move on Bitcoin, particularly on Bitcoin, okay, how it's repeated. I found this. It was a nice move to the upside. What was this? That was about 3%, all right? Then it crawled up through after a take, another beautiful move to the upside. It just kept going, guys, but that was an immediate move of 3%. These small pops of 3 and 4 and 5% are nice. 4%, right? You can leave out, if you want to leave out, I'll just tell you, you can leave out the other components. 9%, nice, huh? Nice. Now, it's shown a habit, if you'll notice this, in terms of profits, it likes to take off when it's taken off, when it spikes. It likes to take off, and what does it do? Well, it kind of gives you some time, right? It does. It kind of gives you some time once it's up there. Lets you kind of decide where to go. Because look at this. It's just giving you some time while you're up there. This gets a little, a little bit erratic here. You could probably play a trend line if you wanted to, right? We were kind of discussing things around here. A lot of people picked up on this breakout, and we're just happy to pick it up after this. Lot of positive indications in terms of the confirmation. A lot of positive confirmation up through this zone. Huge positive confirmation, guys. This move here, like really nice. And again, I talk about the degree to which, like we're looking at the hourly, right? Just look at the degree to which when this moves up, it typically gives you time. That's what's nice about trading Bitcoin. If you can catch these right here, this is your ball game. Bam. Right? Yeah. That's the ball game, guys. This one, bam. Yeah. Now you don't want to be there for these, right? No. So the idea is to catch, and particularly like this, that little nuance in maybe a consolidation channel, okay? We'll get to the micro if we need to. This, nice move, huh? Very nice move. 10%. That's huge. That's a nice move, right? Frustrated, etc. Blah blah. Let's not talk about frustrated anything. Let's talk about nice moves. This was a nice move. We can talk about the capitulations in another chapter. I promise we will. I promise. And it's as exciting about the moves to the upside because we can handle them. Absolutely, we can handle them. The 6%, guys, it's 6%, 10%, 9%, 5%, 4%. It's just, those are nice moves. We want to focus on what generates those moves so you can make that amount of money, right? So everyone can. We want the whole market to make it. How about that? So there you go. That was a nice little pop, wasn't it? You guys saw that? That was nice. Just good morning. Alrighty. I'm going to let you guys roll with this, and I'll just let you know. It looks like we are back into a bullish pattern. Okay? I wanted to live stream because I believed we were going to get back up into that wedge. If you guys trade around me all day long, you know I'm continually doing this, saying I'd like to see this occur, and it happens. This was indicated by the lower level of support, which again was the prior resistance turned into a support trend line, okay? So now this is your baby. You guys get to go trade this, okay? I wanted to stream. I appreciate the heck out of you guys. You know that. And the fact that we're back up in this pattern, it's your baby now. You guys can do what you want to with it. I hope that you profit in it and potentially up out of it, but you understand the details now that we got this sucker back up into a technically bullish formation. So that is awesome, right? That's VIP way to be, huh? We will remember that we caught the bottom below 30 in the back rooms. We'll remember, for what it's worth, things like this. When I go live, it's 2:15 in the morning in Central Standard Time, 3:15 East Coast, etc., and that we fight like this to get things back into position or to identify things that can make you money. Period. That's it. Like signed, sealed, delivered. That's the goal. Real easy here. We want to make you money. That's why we're involved in the space. That's the goal of everybody in crypto. It's not a Mr. Nice game or anything else. No, we want to make money. So my goal is accomplished. I went live to get you guys back up into this. I'm not going to go live at 12:30 just to hang out on the internet. Okay, so yeah, we got you back up in here. Mission accomplished. You guys know how to trade this. Don't tell me you don't. I know you do. I know at this point you know how to trade these. All right? You be careful of what? This. What didn't you get? Confirmation. Okay? You didn't get confirmation. So look at the RSIs. Check that out, how it played a part in that. I would definitely look at the degree on the hourly. You can look at the 5, you look at the hourly, look cross time frame, etc. Okay? We're in. All right? That can change. We're in. That's on the hourly. That's good. I'm happy. Now you guys can keep it in there. How about that? Or you can break out. You can do whatever you want. You guys going to go ballistic and trade the heck out of it? What are you going to do? You're like, we don't know, huh? Well, I'm gonna go trade a little bit. It's been fun. I wanted to get this from here, which is where it was, all sad, back up into here. I'm happy. Now it'd be nice to get it all the way back up in here, but how am I going to trade it anywhere in here if I'm just and we'll start trading live or doing something like that. I don't mind doing that. But that's a big 10-4 mission accomplished. Angel, we appreciate your support. I hope that you appreciate the I don't know, that you appreciate all that we're trying to do for you and your portfolio, and as a community, as we try and build and give you a nice space to feel comfortable in, right? That's the key, right? We want you to feel comfortable, and in terms of this just being kind of like your home. So make yourself at home always, and we're very appreciative of everything you do, brother, and all of you guys, from Steve to Miles to who else we got in here, to Mark, to anybody who has, to Blake. What's up, Blake? We welcome you, brother. We got the best. I guarantee you, huh? World class. You bet it, huh? You betcha, world class. Just don't even ask. We got a world class team, and in terms of traders, and everybody's getting better every day from what I see, and that's saying something, because some of them are really good already. So, you guys go to work, fight, get this sucker where you want it to go. Right? That's the fun part. Now you get to go trade. Now, if you hit one of these little babies. Okay, if you hit one of these babies, all right, I want you guys, you got it, huh? You got it on your own, right? You got it. At this point, I'm going to tell you to watch for one thing. Just keep an eye out when you see, and remember I told you this, keep an eye out. Bitcoin likes to do this. It likes to show you a low and a higher low. Just be prepared when you see a low and a higher low, period. Anytime you see that right now, that's as detailed as I get, within whichever formation, on whichever time frame, because you may be in an ascending triangle on a different time frame and you're not seeing it. So whatever time frame you're on and you're looking at, you may see, it may be one of the strongest formations, and you're staring at something and you don't see it technically, but it may be there. So always when you're watching the chart patterns, watch for a low and a higher low. All right, anytime you have some volatility, you can check the other time frames, see whether or not you have a flat line of resistance and an ascending line of support. When you start to see anything that formulates that, you get ready to rock and roll, okay? Because those rock and rolls can really do nicely. And again, on the hourly, just pay attention to how much time you have. I mean, at the top, this is an hour right there. That's an hour. It'll get there, and then there's an hour in between that. This is the hourly chart. Do you understand that, right? That's an hour you have, right? These other hitches in here. This here is an hour, right? What is this? It's a higher low. What's this? It's a higher low, right? What's this? Higher low. This one, tough. Want to see a different time frame. What's this? Higher low. Boom, boom, boom. And really within that, and getting nuanced with it, just so you guys have a technique to work on, higher low. Okay, anytime you see that. Here you saw it. Okay, here you saw it, and we'll start to point out all the other places you have seen it and why you need to go into the different time frames. We'll argue maybe for a while about, well, does this higher low and this higher low and this higher low really count? We can discuss that. We'll find the proper time frame, etc., that kind of takes that argument away. Okay? For now, just look for situations where you have a higher low, and just what I do is I'm careful to never over deploy my cash. I'm careful to never do that. And you guys know me ever. I got backup reserve cash. If and when I get the right opportunity to really crank in at lower prices, I will always have that opportunity. I'll never be in a position where I cannot crank in heavy reserve cash at lower levels, ever, which keeps me cool. I don't care about, if the market evaporated and it has to reset tomorrow at a penny, thank goodness. I'll never be worried about that. I always have that backup reserve. Okay, and maybe I learned that from you guys. I'm going to say I learned that from you guys. So you guys are back in there. And before I think that higher low situation is a good thing for you guys to look in. And just be careful, because this has already bitten some people, right? Just don't let it bite you. But be prepared to work with a bullish formation. I would stick within the conformance of the 1 hourly right now with this as a deviation, okay? With this as a divergence, which means just a lack of conformance here. Okay? So you guys join up on VIP. That's the place to be. And you don't think if it's too expensive at $100, I think it's too expensive for you not to be in it. I'm going to tell you that much right now. I don't know anyone in the group who hasn't covered their cost of being in VIP. Not one person. Most of them within 2-3 days or 4 or 5 days. Literally, I don't know one person that was in VIP or has been in VIP, etc. That has not covered their costs. When I say has been, some of them moved on and now they're full time traders. Full time. So you guys enjoy that. And I'll let you guys go now that we're back into that. I want you guys to hold that to the extent you can. And if there's a bullish formation, I want to bring it to your attention. So you guys take care of yourself. Make sure you eat well, sleep well, and take care of those relationships that you knew were important before you started investing. Go invest in those relationships. This is London with Bitcoin Spike.